He was early, so he was due 4 days after, but we did have a feeling. I was just like, with our luck and just our life, I was like, what if he comes the day of Super Bowl? And of course, he made his special debut that day.
It's been a crazy week for sure, but we're handling it well, and I just think you just put it in perspective. It's just, how crazy it is to have a baby on Super Bowl day, and, for me to be able to get there and see him, you just see like just God made the whole thing just come to fruition, and it's just been, it's just a blessing, To win the Super Bowl too as well is a blessing in its own. You don't get there often, so, you gotta enjoy it. So, it's been 2 wins, so we're excited.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl, and they have sealed the deal.
It's safe to say Sunday, February 13th was a day Van Jefferson won't soon forget. Not only did the 25-year-old LA Rams wide receiver win his first Super Bowl, he and his wife Samaria also welcomed their second child together, a beautiful baby boy named Champ.
We just kind of was like, that's very fitting for, the type of, situation we just had. So, but I mean, the name Champ, has a meaning of warrior, and, I'm all about having meaning of a name. So I think that's a perfect fitting for him. And, she was a warrior too, to go through just what she went through, even coming to the game and really just kind of, leaving in halftime, so, she has that warrior spirit. So, we just thought it was fitting for him to have that same thing.
Yeah, so around 8:30 the night before, so Saturday, I started having like the slight feeling of contractions, but I couldn't tell if it was like for sure contractions. So I called my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm having some cramping, but they're super spaced out and I can still like breathe through them. So I'm thinking I'm okay. So I went to bed like super late that night because I was still feeling it. Woke up at like 4 a.m. that morning and experienced some more symptoms that kind of told me that I was going into labor, but I wasn't still sure. So I was still having contractions that entire morning, but they were super spaced out. And then I called my midwife at Push Midwifery out here in Thousand Oaks. She said, hey, like they're super spaced out. If you can still breathe through them, then you're fine. Go to the game. So once I got her okay, I was like, okay, I'm going, because I did not want to miss the game for anything. I watched him play since high school and college and now the NFL, so I was dedicated to go. Like, I was not gonna miss it no matter what. So I was having contractions. We got our driver, we were on the way to the stadium, and I'm still having these contractions, but again, super spaced out, and I'm able to grin and bear it. But then when we got to the stadium and we were walking up, to the stadium, I'm like having to stop like every maybe 5 minutes out of just having the pain. And then we got to the seats and I'm still having them, and I guess they were just getting closer and closer, and then up until halftime is when it was like 2 minutes apart, and I'm having these like very intense contractions to where I'm crying at this point. And just like wincing and covering my face, making sure no one can see that I'm in pain. But at that point during halftime, I was like, I can't take it anymore. And so one of my friends called the emergency hotline at the stadium, and within seconds, I was like swarmed with, EMT and like medical staff and getting all these questions. And then I got on a stretcher, and then I was out within like 5 minutes. And from there, we went to the nearest hospital. I don't remember which hospital it was. And like the contractions are just 2 minutes apart still at this point. And I'm barely able to like talk at this point. And we get there. I declined being admitted because again, I was planning on going through a midwife and I wanted to do it naturally. So I declined going through the hospital, and I Ubered from Inglewood out to Thousand Oaks, still in labor, having contractions, like going crazy in the Uber, like crying. I had his aunt with me and his sister with me, and they were my support system. I'm still like, is he okay? Like, how's he doing in the game? Like, who's winning? Like, I'm still thinking these things, but also like in intense pain. So it was just like a whirlwind of thoughts. And then when I arrived to the center is when they called me and they were like, hey, your husband just won the Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, great. So that was a good moment also. And when I arrived, I was 9 centimeters. So had I stayed in the stadium at least like 30 minutes, I would have either given birth at the stadium or in the car. So I was thankful that I made it, being that far dilated and that far along. But yeah, that's how it went. You know, I didn't want anyone to tell him that I was in labor or anything like that during the game. I just said, wait until he is done, and then you can tell him. And I'm just really thankful that they did that and they listened.
After the game, Van was celebrating on the field when he got the news.
Your wife's giving birth right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A sweet moment captured on film for an episode of Inside the NFL that aired 2 days later on Paramount+.
So that's when the lady came to me and was like, hey, your wife is going to labor. I was like, are we serious right now? Or is it really happening? And so then that's when you see the video of me just calling to my kids and saying it's time to go. So we'd haul tail and, you know, they had a car waiting for me.
And so within an hour after that, my water broke officially, and I was not able to wait on Van anymore because he was still on the way to me in traffic.
The LA traffic is so crazy out here, so it took me like an hour 30 just to get, you know, to Thousand Oaks because, you know, Inglewood, it was the Super Bowl. I'm definitely in the car like, hey, you need to push this car a little bit faster. Like, we need to get there immediately, you know, but I mean, there's only so much he could do, you know. I mean, we're just stuck in traffic. The Super Bowl just ended, so it was people trying to get out.
So we had to FaceTime him, and then I gave birth like literally an hour after the ring ceremony.
Someone had FaceTimed me and I didn't recognize the number, so I had picked it up and then I just had seen someone laying on the bed and I hung up. I'm like, who was that? So they called back again and I looked and I had the phone up to the screen like trying to see who it was, and then ultimately it was my wife on the bed giving birth. So that was kind of a funny moment that I had shared with her.
Yeah, we called him and I was like, I can't wait anymore. They called him, got him on the phone, and that was my first time able to like kind of talk to him, I guess, or know that he was there on FaceTime watching me give birth. So, and then he came after, and that's when I saw him.
I think I made it maybe like 30 minutes after he was born though. It was just an amazing feeling. I mean, being able to see your newborn and your newborn son and knowing the type of, you know, situation that it came with, you know, winning the Super Bowl and then coming there, just made it just that much special, you know, and just to get there and then, you know, the first thing you do when you hold the baby, you have to seal up your shirt and get that skin-to-skin contact. So that was just, you know, a special moment for me, just in having my kids there too and having all the people that are important to me there as well. You know, it was a great feeling for sure.
There's no question, Van and Samaria have come a long way since their days as high school sweethearts at Ravenwood High, 20 miles south of Nashville, Tennessee.
It's been crazy surreal. I mean, I knew, you know, he was destined for greatness, and I knew, you know, as hard as he worked from high school to college and to now, I knew it was meant for him. And I knew God wanted this for him, and he's deserved every bit of it, as hard as he does work and as committed as he is. And I'm just honored and proud to have been by his side throughout all of it, all the years.
Where we going, babe? Where we going?
Come on, baby. Yeah, I'm definitely proud of her. I'm just going back to high school. I think, you know, I think she's been the ultimate, you know, #1 fan, the ultimate #1 partner, and she's always been there with me through the ups and the downs and my lowest points, you know, during the season, and you know, she held it down for sure to let me go and play the game. You know, we had a discussion. I told him like, hey, you know, hey, I'm definitely gonna have to play in this game, but I would definitely be there, you know, after the game. But I mean, just going from high school all the way till now, you know, she's been very supportive of me, always, you know, keeping me humble, you know, always, you know, making sure that, you know, I'm a man of character and a man of great integrity. So she always harps on that and always makes sure that, you know, I'm doing the right things. And, you know, you need someone like that to hold you accountable and to push you to, you know, your best potential. And that's what she does. That's what she brings out of me. And, you know, I couldn't ask God for a better partner to do life with. And, you know, so I'm so proud of her, the way that she handled the situation. I mean, I don't know too many people that would be able to do that, and you know, and she held it down for sure. But you know, I'm happy the way that she handled it, and she handled it like a true champ. And to have a baby on the day you win the Super Bowl is, I think that's unheard of.
I don't think anyone can top that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can top that, and I don't know how I can top that. I mean, to have a baby and to win the Super Bowl, I think that was just the ultimate, you know, best day of my life. Just to, you know, experience the Super Bowl win, to have that feeling, and to have a baby then, you know, right after, you know, it's it's just the best feeling you can't describe.